Hello everyone, my name is Nilesh. In this video, we will talk about time complexity of the algorithm. Here, I try to explain you time complexity in bit simplified manner. So here we go. Performance of any algorithm is measured in terms of memory consumption and time required for completion of the algorithm. Here, we will focus on timing analysis of the algorithm. One way is to measure the exact time required for completing the algorithm, and this is referred as exact analysis. Here we measure time in milliseconds or microseconds. This time is dependent on algorithm implementation, data size, and also the machine configuration. Now you see, if a algorithm is taking 100 milliseconds on a Pentium machine, the same algorithm for the same data may record less than 30 milliseconds on Core i7 machine. Obviously, this analysis is not much useful. Another way to measure the performance of the algorithm is asymptotic analysis. Asymptotic analysis is approximate measure of the time required for the completion of the algorithm. It is not dependent on the machine configuration, but depends on the number of iterations in the loop involved in the algorithm. Point to note is it is approximate measurement. It means there may be two algorithms having different running time, different actual time, but may have the same time complexity. The time complexity is typically expressed in terms of big O notation. I prefer to read it as order of. Most commonly seen time complexities are O(n) cube, O(n) square, O(n) log n, O of n, O of log n, and O of 1. Now we will see some of these time complexities and their significance. Let us first take a look at big O of n. In many of the algorithms, the time required is directly proportional to some value of n. Usually, n represent the number of elements in some dataset, but it can be any other factor. The simplest example would be a factorial. A typical factorial program is running a loop from 1 to n and doing multiplication to come up with the result. You try to calculate the factorial of 5, the loop will be repeated for 5 times and you come up with the result. If you try to calculate the factorial of 500, the loop is repeated for 500 times. It simply means that as n grows, the number of iterations of the loop increases and hence the time will also increase. Here we can say that the time complexity is of order of n. Few more examples can be a linear search in an array or linked list, or trying to delete the last element in a linked list, or for that sake reversing a linked list. Now let us take a look at O(n) square. In few algorithms, the time complexity is of order of n square. Simple example would be traversing all elements in a square matrix. In this program, we are trying to calculate sum of all elements in a square matrix. Here you see all iterations of inner loop are executed for each iteration of the outer loop. So effective number of iterations of the inner loop are n square. Hence the time complexity is of order of n square. Please note that it is not necessary that number of iterations of a loop are always exactly n square. Many of the times, the number of iterations of the loop are some quadratic function of n, and applying theory of approximation result in the time complexity of O(n) square. Few more examples can be selection sort, bubble sort, or insertion sort, where the number of iterations are not exactly n square, but still the time complexity is O(n) square. Even the BFS and DFS algorithm in adjacency matrix implementation of a graph, the number of iterations are maximum n square and the time complexity results in O(n) square. Now let us talk about O of log n. In few algorithms, time increases quite slowly with respect to n. In fact, it follows logarithmic function of n. Most of these algorithms involve some sort of partitioning, like dividing array into two equal parts or something like this. The simplest example will be converting the decimal number into binary. As you can see in a program, it involves repeatedly dividing a number by 2 and considering its remainders but in a reverse order. If you try to calculate the binary equivalent of 9, you will realize that it is taking the 4 iterations to find the binary equivalent, that is 1001. You try to do the same thing for a number 1000, you will realize that it is taking hardly 10 iterations. So this is way faster than O of n square or even O of n. Few more example would be the binary search in a sorted array, or for that sake binary search in balanced binary search tree. At the end, I'll talk about time complexity O of 1. In few algorithms, the time is not dependent on any factor. It is fixed time irrespective of number of elements to deal with. The simplest example will be addition of two numbers, and the time required for addition always remains same irrespective of number are big or small. Typically, such algorithm won't involve any kind of loop. Few more example could be pushing and popping elements into the stack or queue, adding or deleting the first node in the linked list, checking if the linked list or tree is empty, or searching in a hash table in ideal conditions. The time complexity is O of 1. Just to summarize, we seen time complexity can tell you about the performance of the algorithm. We have seen few time complexities. However, there are few commonly seen time complexities. Here is list of time complexities in ascending order of their performance, where you see that O of 1 is highest performance while O of n cube can be the lowest performance. At the beginner level, looking at the code and loops in it, you can guess the time complexities and vice versa. Most of the simplified cases, it is more than sufficient, even though this can be discussed with much more mathematical details. I hope this video help you getting some practical fundamentals of time complexity. Thank you for listening this. Stay tuned.